It's Fuck Yeah Friday.
Fuck yeah!
Get ready for some wins.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
And stick around to the very end because we got some outtakes. That's been happening.
There's always outtakes, and the team does collect them for bloopers on the YouTube, but we're adding them into the end of the pod because you know what? You need to know that we are not perfect, you're not perfect,
and we're enjoying the process.
And we are enjoying that. So have a good laugh on our behalf. Love you!
All right. Welcome back, Be It Babe, to the FYF episode. Oh my goodness, what a week it has been. I have so many exciting wins to share. First, of course, I must share a few of yours. So we have one from DK, and she says, I am delayed. DK is actually from our agency group, and this is the most amazing thing. So listen to this. I'm delayed, but I'm still on cloud 9 from yesterday's FYF vibes. So obviously she said this on a Saturday, but you can have an FYF every day. She said, I went from 3 months in a row of major client slump after signing a 4-year lease on my own space. Her personal home is attached as default and liability. Oh my God, all the pressure. And she had limited business history and she was starting to freak. And she had a great coaching call with me. Oh, thanks. And I started trying to get those 200 no's. So pause. 200 no's is something that Brad and I help people do. It's like all about like try to get 200 rejections. It'll help you get over your fear of rejection. So she started working on those 200 no's. Okay, back to DK. And she's been chasing down people to hand out cards when they look in the window. And I think that was a literal chasing people down if they looked in the window. She invited everyone in a 1,000-foot radius a free session. I've been learning to chat up literally everyone and bringing my cards everywhere to hand out. It felt like a waste. And then all of a sudden, poof, I had 2 clients sign up for 2 times a week at the very end of March. An old client reached out and joined my mixed equipment class. Someone I gave my card to at a yoga workshop signed up for 3 times a week this week. And she's currently corresponding with another super interested client. All of these people are 100% the people that she is trying to serve. It is April 15th and she's having the best revenue month she's ever had, better than even before she moved into her storefront. And she had a workshop last weekend that was empty until she hustled her ass off in the last few days to pull people in, and it ended up being a nearly sold out workshop. So she has a little side note there I'm going to keep to our agency members. And she decided to put a foot in faith and get the rest of the equipment she'd wanted. And she's actually able to cover almost most of it plus this month's with this month's income. So that's a hell yes. So all this to say, like DK is just like most of all of us trying to make her magic happen. And there was a lot of fear and a lot of worry and like a lot of things that just weren't working out. And she went after getting rejected and she ended up getting a bunch of people to say yes. You will be rejected more often than you will not. Just so you know, it's a numbers game. So if you are trying to get people into anything that you're doing, you just need to know that you're going to get a lot of no's. It doesn't mean it's not a good idea. It just means that you haven't found the right people. So be like DK, chase people down. Don't be afraid to hand out your cards and tell people who you are and what you do. Okay, I have a win from an Elevate member that I'm really excited to share, and I'll tell you my win. Her name is Lauren Barker. She got her stretching and flexibility coach certification this week and happened to find a fellow Pilates instructor that specializes in assisted stretching and is willing to mentor her as she needs to help with her client load, thinking it might go well with packages for her studio, especially working with postnatal. And she was able to let go of a job that didn't bring her joy to free her up for her own company, her own business that will. So she's feeling optimistic. So these women are just 2 women that have wins to share with you. You can share your wins with us. Just let us know, and we'll send them out to this FYF. But I hope that these wins are inspiring you, that you can find a win in everything in everyday life, and celebrating what you did do is hugely important. So now for my win. Okay. I made this intention at the beginning of the year that I wanted to spend more time with friends if possible. And that's kind of complicated when you live in a city where you're making new friends. And most of my best friends in this world have always lived far away from me. And so I made this intention to do this. And I started the year off. Literally, the first 3 days of the year, I started off with some of my girlfriends in a different town. And I have been able to find unique ways to spend time with friends along the year. Some of them are pre-planned, and something that I just did this past weekend was not on my radar. So I got to go to the She Who Wins conference. Our guest, Renee Bauer, hosted it. And my friend Corrine, who's also a guest on the pod, was the one that invited me to come. And so I got to have this impromptu weekend away with a bunch of amazing women. And it's a win because it would be so easy for me to say no. Let me just be really honest. This coming weekend, I have 3 Elevate members at my house for the round 3 weekend 1. And then the next weekend we are in Philly for a wedding. And then literally we come back from Philly, we go to Korea. So like I have every reason, every wonderful, legitimate excuse to say no to this invitation. But I had made this intention at the beginning of the year. And so my mind is searching for opportunities to spend time with my female friends and get to enjoy more experiences with them. And so I'm calling this past weekend a win because I was able to make it happen. So when I set an intention and I kept it, woo, yay me. All right. This FYF is just another opportunity for you and reminder to celebrate what you did do, because it is all about collecting data. The more you celebrate what you did do, the more likely you are to ditch imposter syndrome, have the confidence that you need to be it till you see it.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Kroll.
It is produced and edited by the epic team at Disenyo.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Jean-Francois Chofa.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals and Samena Velasquez for our transcriptions.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all the content to our website, and finally to Meredith Kroll for keeping us all on point and on time.
May 5th, FFF. Oh, May 5th, FYF. How about that? How about that? I know what date it is, I swear.